Well, now listen, this is quite an interesting story, by the way. You can just stop whatever you're doing and listen to this. By the way, I received a call from a client and he told me, hey, guess what? I have just gone to a retire. I am 60 years old. Okay. And guess what? I've actually gotten my pension and it is 2,900,000 Kenyan shillings. That is not the problem. The problem is I'm so confused. I don't even know where to invest. I have never started any business in my life. I don't know where to start on. And Joseph, would you mind to advise me on what I'm supposed to do with my 2 million or close to 3 million Kenyan shillings? Yeah, I know you're like, okay, fine. Who cares about retirement? I mean, after all, I'm 25 years old watching your videos. Good, Joseph. No, guess what? Just hang on a second. Listen what he said. I have never started any investment. I do not know how to invest. Now, what exactly would I do, Joseph? Now, listen, even if you're 18 years old and you're watching this video, 20, 25, 30, 40, 55, whatever the age that you are, if you don't want to get yourself into the problem or the challenge that this wonderful mzee is, so listen to this video and watch it to the end, because I'm going to solve it. I'm going to tell you areas whereby you can invest as low as you can. Maybe let's say you have 2,000, even 100 bob, 200, 300, 400,000, 10,000, 100 million, whatever the amount of money that you have in your pocket. I always encourage people to invest that money. Why? Because as the time goes, you get yourself an experience. So whenever you get a good, huge amount of money, you will never get confused. And probably you'll just be making calls and asking me who I am because you want to buy me a cup of coffee. All right? So that is it. So stick around, watch this video to the end. And guess what? What do I promise in this video? I promise you by the end of this video, you'll get the information where to invest as low as 100 bob. That's what I promised. And number two, what do you get in return in these areas? And by the way, I'm going to give you what we call a diversified portfolio of investment. Inamaanisha aje? Don't put all your eggs in one basket. Put in basket A, B, C, and D. By the way, even the Bible calls you a fool if you put all your money in one basket. All right? So get to the point. No, but before I do that, hey, do you know that I always post a video each and every day? Wow, didn't you know that? Now, if you don't want to miss any of my good videos in the future, do this. It doesn't cost you anything. It's free of charge. Down below there on your right, there is like a small button written subscribe. It is in black in color. Hit that magical button, turn that notification bell, and like this video. And once you do that, a whole YouTube will notify you whenever I upload a new good video. So now enough with all that introduction. Now, let's get into this situation. This wonderful guy called me and told me he has this amount of money and he's confused. And by the way, he gave me his GoFundMe and told me, hey, make a video about it and help someone out there. All right. So I always hide the identities. I don't share the identities and what have you. The point is about the situation. Okay. Now, this amount of money, quite good. This is an amazing amount of money that you can actually invest. First of all, at 60 years, you have to be very careful what you tell this wonderful soul. If that guy was maybe, let's say, at 25 to say 35, guess what I would have told the guy? Try many things. Try things out. Don't play over safe and what have you. At this particular point, there are two things. Hey, listen. There are two things when it comes to money. All right? Now, we have things that we say, you store the money. Store the money, right? Store. When you say store is retain. All right, you retain, or we say maintain the money. All right, and this is what we look forward when we are old. So this mzee is looking forward to not only store but also B. Now this gives us the B. The B is about grow the money. To grow money. To grow what? To grow money is to multiply. Multiply. All right. You get what I'm saying? Now, at this particular point, this is when we talk about either investment or we talk about businesses, right? So when you are young, when you are this age, 20 to 25, 20, let's say, you see, when do we start getting money? Let's say at 20 even, by the way, 22, at least, 50. At this age, you're supposed to be growing money. But when you hit, let's say, 45 years and above, focus on now storing the money, retaining the money, and maintaining that thing, all right? That's what you've been learning for all those number of years. So where the mzee is at 60 years old, basically this guy should be focusing on doing what? Storing the money. Because this guy, where he is, he needs to actually be getting something consistently to sustain his retirement. He is at 60, for God's sake. Come on, this is still a young guy, all right? say. Now, at this particular point, it means that the guy needs to eat, to dress, to make sure that he pays all the bills. Probably he has a car. He needs to fuel that car and all those kind of things. He needs also to get that money to go out and hang around with wazes. So the point is this guy is not only looking for areas where he can be able to store the money, he's looking also for an area where he can be able to do what? To grow the money. And guess what? I want you to get a difference between these two things. To store the money, in most cases, involves low risks. Low risk engagements, all right? But when you want to grow your money, obviously you have to incorporate an aspect of what? Risks are involved. Meaning when you're growing the money, you cannot grow your money when you store it in a bank. You grow your money when you invest it. You grow your money when you put it in a, say, shares, money market fund, treasury bills, treasury bonds. You put in a conventional business, hardware, all those beauty parlor, what have you, all those areas. That's how you grow your money. Now, the point is this. At this particular age, you need to be very careful advising this as a wonderful soul. Why? Because what they do not have at their disposal, they do not have time. So if they do not have time, then it means that you have to consider what they can be able to do. And I always advise them, get at least three portfolio of investment, portfolio of investment. What do I mean by that? A, you need to have at least an asset. All right, an asset that is generating some cash. You need to have what we call a cash flow. Okay, cash flow, because obviously you cannot be able to shop with a title deed. And the D, you need to at least have something that at least dang what? Solve the social aspect of this mzee. Social aspect, meaning this is a guy who needs to spend a little bit time with people, engaging with people and what have you, because the guy is coming from the corporate world. He's already used to the social life. So if you tell them to go do something and, it does not involve social life and what have you, the guy is likely to develop some stresses, the boredom and what have you. Obviously, when these guys become old, we need to take care of them. Now, the very first thing this mzee you have to tell them is this. Hey, out of the 2.9 million Kenyan shillings, this is how you can divide among the money. I would suggest, by the way, if you can go pick like T-bills or T-bonds. There are some T-bills or maybe let's say and T-bonds. You find that these T-bonds, they are giving you at around, by the way, have you realized that the T-bills and T-bonds are actually increasing in terms of the percentage interest that they're giving people? It's quite way high. Be very, 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 vigilant into this and actually pick these examples and actually go there and invest. If they give you, like some of them are even giving you 15%, some of them even giving you 16%. Let's pick an example of 15%. 15%, let's say if this guy decides to put $1 million bob in this investment, $1 million bob, you put 1 million into this. A 15% of 1 million bob, that's 150,000. 150,000. All right, 150,000. Say he gets into the infrastructure bond which does not pay tax. Therefore, the whole amount of money is at his disposal. If you divide this by 12, you get yourself a good amount of the money at the end of the month. And guess what? This is an investment. You do nothing about it. You do nothing about it. This is a money that this guy is enough to eat. And actually, because obviously I'm assuming at this age, the guy does not have anybody in the university, does not have anybody who is educating and what have you. And this amount of money is channeled towards treasury bonds. The other amount of money, you can actually put it towards a circle, a very good and stable circle. Whatever that corporate that guy was working from, you can decide to channel that money back to a circle. Let's say that circle is also giving you that percentage of what? 15%. They are giving you dividends. Also, let's say you put, another 1 million there. You put another 1 million, is giving you another 150,000 per month. So you divide again that by 12. We are talking of apps to, this guy is actually getting close to 40,000 at the end of the month. 40,000 at the end of the month out of this amount of money. Now he's remaining with 900,000. 900,000. Now this is the money I want him to start a conventional business. And obviously, not all of it. Out of the 900,000, I want him to divide this money into two. You get 450,000. 450,000, put it in a bank. Let it stay there in liquid form. See, you need money, you need cash, you need to at least have some. Let's treat this 450,000 as an emergency fund with his capacity. Best is, say, one thing, once you grow old, you obviously have a lot of things that come in here and there, sometimes issues to do with health and what have you. But if you're lucky, you do not have any problem, well and good. Take this amount of money, divide it into two, get the 400. And by the way, I'm giving all these examples. I'm assuming this MZ does not have a land. He never bought any piece of land. He was actually blessing themselves and what have you. I'm arguing from that point. So get this amount of money divided by two, you get 450,000. The 450,000, the MZ can get a very nice, good butchery, you know, na ka drinking joint kama ni huyo mtu wa hiyo aina, and this ka butchery actually anaweza employ watu, yeye anakaa tu kwa counter. You know, have you ever gone to a certain place whereby where unakula tu but where you are paying, you get a mzee who is relaxed, does not have a lot of things, and relax tu hapo hivyo, so you get set a small butchery somewhere, that ka butchery with a kachoma zone, with a ka grill somewhere. Or maybe I don't want to say restaurant. Restaurant is quite tricky for mzes and what have you. They can get themselves a very nice butchery and what have you, and they can be able to do something at the end of the day. Okay, now, and then you can also get kasa mzes. You know, mzes are good at hardwares, but maybe hardware can be a bit tricky because construction industry is actually, if you have been in Kenya for quite a long time, you realize that, hey, this amount of money you find like, rather this type of investment, you find like it goes na kujuana. You know, Swahili we say kujuana. Kujuana means like you have to have people who you know to connect you and what have you and all those kind of things. Unless you get into the market with a really good financial muscle, you can be able to trounce them and be able to make some cash out of it. There are other various areas where you can be able to start. Maybe this mzee has somebody at his disposal, maybe a son or daughter or what have you, or maybe the wife has some experience on certain businesses. They can be able to start a business. So the whole point is this business they are starting with this amount of money is to at least keep them busy. Remember one thing, there is money in treasury bills. So after every 6 months, money gets in. There is some money in the circles. Every year, some money gets into his account. Again, he has 450,000 into his disposal. Maybe this mzee has a kagari. He can be able to fuel with whatever he's getting with the day-to-day activities in business. Guess what we've done? We've actually created a portfolio of different investments. I know you're about to ask me, hey, how about the 100 bob that you did promise us? Hey, I haven't forgotten. Yeah. So the 100 bob that I did promise you to be able to invest on is that, hey, guess what? There are some MMFs, money market fund, of which still mzee can actually get into the money market fund. See, the money market fund, there are some of them that you can actually invest with 100 bob. Come on, check my older videos. I've actually talked about the best money market fund. And by the way, I talked exclusively about a money market fund that you can invest with this amount of money, which is 100 bob. Now, that's scenario A. Scenario A is where the mzee does not have a piece of land, because if I tell you to buy a piece of land with this amount of money, come on, you'll constrict what we call the cash flow, and then probably you won't get in an amazing place. And then if you decide to build some rental houses there, you already do not have enough muscle to build those rental houses. That is scenario A. Scenario B, the mzee can actually, if you do have a land already at your disposal, come on, you can just fix some few units with this amount of money, all right? Maybe let's say, you can fix, let's say, like 4 one-bedrooms with this amount of money, or let's say 5 one-bedrooms with this amount of money, and maybe you charge one bedroom at around 6,000, 5,000, 4. Depends on where you come from, by the way. See, if you're in Nairobi, obviously it means that you fetch more from your one bedroom. If you come from other smaller towns like Kisses and what have you, obviously the rent will actually be low. But anyway, one bedroom mostly ranges from 4,500 to all the way to even 50,000, 60, 200, 400. It all depends on where you're actually renting or building this amount of these units for you to proceed to the next level. So the point is this, if you've realized what I've actually done, is make sure that at least you have a portfolio of different investments. Have a cash flow, have an asset, all right, and also have what we call, something that actually, keeps you busy, because you not only need to solve the financial problem with this mzee, but also you need to have what we call the social aspect of it catered for. Anyway, guess what? Before you actually get yourself to this situation, make sure that you learn yourself about investments. Right now, you are 20, 23, 21, whatever. How about you familiarize yourself with investments? Pick and try different things. And in the process, you might end up touching that what is yours, and you never know. You may end up doing amazing things in this life. That's how we do it. Guess what? If you would like to have a conversation with me pertaining to investment, I offer those services, obviously at a cup of coffee's price. Simple. Grab my number from the description of this specific video. Just down below there where you have the number of viewers, there's something written more. Click that more, and then you get my number. It's pinned out there. You can give me a call, or maybe you can get booklets about, hey, treasury bills and bonds. I have that booklet, goes for 440. I do have a booklet about MMF, goes for 280. I have booklets about shares, goes for 280. I have booklets about, variety of areas of where you can be able to invest. About circles, it's available. About business plans of various businesses, goes for 280. Anyway, for now, it's a goodbye. See you in the next one. But don't forget, come on, do something. Don't just be, watch my video and then make it like as if it's another entertainment video, but do something about it. Anyway, for now, it's a goodbye and see you